The night was long and cold, with near endless maps aplenty, and a renaissance of weapon mods galore. But at what cost? What cost? What good is a 4K MP12 when an enemy simply slumps over, lifeless body collapsing to the ground and shit, only to spring back up from the dead, simply to fall over again, begging for death? How can we possibly know if they are truly gone without their head exploding in an effervescent sea of blue and red and orange, like a sprinkler of blood? My truly moral and mentally stable brothers, it has arrived, and it is as violent as we could have possibly desired. That is right, my ladies and sadistic gents, Gibblitable is back, but under a new name of a kind, and of course by another beloved mod author. Hunter has brought us Bonelab, where you can rip and tear until it is done. Seriously, I feel like Hunter is like always coming out with like quality of life mods that we all deeply need and people seem to not really want to make anymore. Thank you, Hunter. Really appreciate it, Hunter. Yeah, I missed the camera mod you had. So, to those who are just completely confused, hey, thanks for holding in there throughout all the weirdness. Gibblitable was made by Deagle, and this mod added body degradation to damn near every enemy type in Bonelab. Everything from blue nulls' heads popping from the slightest touch, to the green ones who pulled the kind of whole "'tis but a scratch" thing. Apparently they do melee damage, I don't know, yeah, cockroaches, a lot of them. And of course forwards and the security guards and so many other enemies that went pop. But upon closer inspection, Hunter definitely upped the ante, now adding things as brutal as decapitation on melee sword strikes to the neck and joints, which is unbelievably brutal and a tad bit hard to pull off, but still works like a charm. With all that being said, these guys do look like they're like aliens stretching into human skin. If you get it, if you look at it, you can tell. Just off. Now I'm sure with the whole kind of like bloody extravaganza before you that's happening. Sorry YouTube, this video is completely botched, it's fine. I'm sure some of you are starting to feel a little bit queasy, and trust me when I say a little bit, freaks. And I mean hot damn, is that a lot of blood? But if I could play devil's advocate for the sickos and weirdos, but truth be told, using weapons that were purely meant for destruction is just downright frustrating when the enemy basically reacts as if you hit them with like a sleeping dart. But outside of things like immersion, it also just makes things feel so much more right. It'd be like firing a gun and literally hearing no sound come out of it. I'm not talking about suppressor, I'm talking dead silence. It just leaves you kind of wanting, right? But in some ways, I wouldn't be opposed to pumping the brakes just a tiny bit. For me personally, I've always preferred enemies that are goreable, I guess, that are as far away from humans as possible. Think like the Gore in Borderlands 1. And believe you me, there was a lot of gore in Borderlands 1. But there was no question that these guys were deranged psychos long since shedding the label of human. And that's why I really hope that Hunter updates this mod with other enemy types. Things like robots that when you shoot them in the head, sparks and oils splatter everywhere. That would keep our rather queasy brothers and sisters happy and still let them dabble in the satisfaction, pop, and shock and awe, that impact that this body degradation mod really does well. That I think is the key to why this mod is so beloved, outside of its fucky violent undertones, okay? As well as I'm sure myself and other content creators would greatly appreciate creating enemies that looked a lot less like human, because oh boy, we're fighting for our life with the whole demonization thing out here in VR land. Things like robots or like lizard men or even synthetic nulls like we had that explode in blue synthetic blood. I know it's kind of funny, but it makes a lot of us feel a lot less grim, I guess. And from uploading a lot of videos, I can tell you YouTube also appreciates it quite a bit. Humans, no-go. Things close to human, positive. Zombies, red. Red for scary for YouTube. And if I could add just one more thing that I really want on this list of hopes for this mod, that would be to make a version of each enemy type who is considered weaker. That way you don't have to put so much force behind your attacks to really get the shock and awe and the pop and gush. Ugh, sounds horrible. That we're all kind of looking for, I guess. It makes things like getting a headshot feel so much better. But perhaps asking for humanoid-like creatures as well as weaker equivalents is just asking a little too much. I do believe Hunter is working on far too many things, probably, and we appreciate him for it, so I don't want to put anything more on his plate. But I will say, I think that would just be it'd be so cool. But I also understand that things are put off till updates are like done, so that modders can like fully invest again. Oh, by the way, on top of Gorelab, Hunter also made his Helldiver NPC, Gibblitable as well, and he is significantly weaker. My biggest issue, just to kind of call attention to it, is I was shooting people with like a Deagle, and I had to like double tap them on the ground, which didn't feel nearly as satisfying as just getting a headshot and then hearing the pop and then like lots of red. And yeah, and then you're like, he's gone. He's not getting back up unless he's a green guy, and green knows for whatever he kept getting. Anyways, you get the point. Both of these mods will be linked in the description down below. I would highly advise getting them. The Gorelab is a little bit, it's not that bad. If you literally just follow these steps, it's like the most obvious thing on the planet of how to install it. Literally just take one file and put it into the file that you do. Anyways, it's not that bad. You got it. But with all that being said, I can say with all honesty that, like, after making this video, I feel like we're all kind of committing war crimes. Anyways, but big thanks to our members who are supporting. Yeah. This, and of course, pop into one of our streams if you so fancy. We stream every single Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday and Friday are always 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, as well as Saturday being at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, just to give you guys some variation so you can maybe have a time where you can pop in and say hi. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Grin. I hope I can see you again. Love you, and please, oh please, go give some love to Hunter, because that boy never sleeps. Like a fucking vampire or some shit. A wraith. Possessed by pure, well, after this mod, maybe violence, honestly, but hey, we benefit from madness, I suppose, here quite a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, love you bits, hope I can see you again, bye.